I'm definitely about to get demonetized. Hey everybody, welcome to the new vid where I'm going to cover my top 3 picks of the bad babes within the Shadow Garden. I've been making polls throughout the entire week on the channel about who I think would win in different fights and who looks the best and different Shadow Garden content in general, so I figured I'd go ahead and dip my finger in something else. And why not dip my finger in but my entire hand? This is already just going wrong. So without further ado, let's go straight into the video. Starting in number 3, I have Delta. She's actually one of my favorite Shadow Garden characters, not to mention Whammon, due to the fact that she's not only kawaii, strong, and best doggo, but her appearance, looks, and attitude, and dead set loyalty makes her different from the rest. Now, everybody in Shadow Garden is loyal to Shadow, and they're willing to put their lives on the line to protect him. But Delta is one of the only people in the entire Shadow Garden organization who continuously make this blatantly known. She's also one of the only members who don't mind running up to Shadow at any given point in time and showing open affection. The other Shadow Garden members seem a bit awkward, and it's not because they're scared, but it's rather they're shy and they allow their thoughts to overwhelm them. They still view Cid as this godlike creature who just has overwhelming knowledge on everything that is and is the most powerful character in their world, which the second statement is true, but the first is not. So because of this, they're unable to act naturally with him, with Delta being the only person so far on screen who's able to do so. The second reason behind this is her outfit. I actually like her outfit a lot, and it's a lot different from the traditional Shadow Garden outfits. I also like the tail design that she has. I'm not really sure what that is, but I think it looks pretty good on her. Not to mention that it suits her adorableness, which, if you hadn't guessed already, is the main third reason for why Delta has made the list. She's absolutely adorable, and even though she's ferocious and doesn't really listen to anyone outside of Alpha and Cid because of their power, Delta, believe it or not, is rather innocent-minded. Now, again, she is pretty ferocious and has no problem killing you, but the fact of the matter is, if you get on her good side and you're not a weakling, so to speak, then you get to unlock a whole nother side to Delta that the internet has already spoken for. She's just so adorable. You want to give her head pats, protect, and she's just one of those characters. Moving on, at number 2, we have Beta. Now, I feel like Beta is on this list specifically because of the pure amount of screen time that she had throughout season 1, and with that being said, it was inevitable for this character to grow on me. Beta's design, not to mention her attitude and her intelligence, is kind of what attracted me to the character. She's level-headed, intelligent, and is the intel of the organization, and seems to be the jack of all trades. According to her stats and what she specializes in, it seems as though she's good at everything overall, but specializes in nothing, meaning she has the ability to learn multiple traits and become good at anything if she puts her mind to. And that's something that kind of reminds me of myself. I don't particularly main any video game or any hobby in particular, but I'm somebody who likes to pick up many different tasks and to be good at them just for the sake of doing so. Outside of her character, I also like her physical appearance quite a lot. I mean, she has the elf look going for her, a pretty nice hairstyle, and not to mention the gorgeous blue eyes that are just, I think a lot of this has to do with the animation style in particular. And I only say this because after looking at the manga, I mean, she looks good over there too, but it's not like, oh wow. Outside of that, she also has a lot of different assets. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've all watched season 1. And that's pretty much enough of a reason for her to be on this list. She seems like she'd be a really good time to hang around and has a rather quirky, fun personality when it comes to teasing others, giving advice, and being supportive as a person. All those qualities alone get you in the checkbook for being a best babe in my book, so Beta makes number 2 on this list for those reasons. And last but not least, coming in at number 1, we have Eta. Oh, sorry, wrong list. That's actually for my next video. Oops, spoilers. The actual number 1 of this video was pretty hard to determine between Alpha and Gamma. Alpha has a lot of good qualities, and I mean a lot of good qualities. That was discovered early on, but I decided ultimately to pick on Gamma just due to personal preference. Both characters have long hair, both characters are stunning, and both characters are fairly competent, but the thing that sets Gamma apart from Alpha for me is 2 things. One, her clumsiness. Now, I know generally, why would that be a deciding factor for choosing her, and it's because clumsiness equals protect energy. So if a character is clumsy, then you have a good amount of reasoning to look after them. And with Gamma being, being clumsy is another far incentive to look after the character. It also helps to note that she's not generally clumsy with everything she does, it just comes with physical activity, working out, fighting, things of that nature. When it comes to business and anything else, she's fairly competent and exceeds in those areas. So where she lacks in physical aptitude, she makes up with an intelligence. And Shadow notes this himself when he first meets her again after years of being apart. And the second reason that set her apart from Alpha, that allowed her to win first place on this list, was due to her playful nature. This is shown many times throughout the series when she references Shadow and is around the character, but this was particularly shown when Shadow came for a face modification to enter a tournament, and she playfully rubbed the cream on his face. That just, I don't know, that made me laugh, and I found it pretty damn adorable. It wasn't particularly attractive, but fun, and it set me at ease with the character. Alpha's cool and all, but she doesn't let her emotions show at all outside of being in Cid's presence. So in terms of being best girl, it would help if the character was a little bit more outward with their emotions and out in public. Gamma doesn't do this throughout the entire show at all and praises Shadow outright and shows a general friendly and fond nature, whether she's out in public or in Shadow's presence alone. It also helps with the fact that she's, again, extremely intelligent and would be able to get a business no problem and probably get me rich as hell, which ultimately gets her the first list on best girl. Having somebody who's super powerful and is fond of being around you in private is pretty nice too, but in a realistic aspect, I'd rather have somebody who is business smart, attractive, a bit clumsy, but is somebody worth protecting. But let me know what your personal list is. Who are your top 3 Shadow Garden girls? Do you guys agree with my list? Do you disagree? Do you think the order should be changed? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been Caption Kuma, and I'll see you guys on the next video.